Hey everybody, welcome to Everiathing. Today we have quite some interesting guests. If some of you guys have heard of this thing called Humans of New York, these two girls actually did a thing called Humans of Vancouver, which is super cool. They actually started it last summer, and since then they have racked up to 17,000 likes, and even over 17,000 likes. When they started it, they were only 16. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Julianna and Anisha. Woo. Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
I'm wonderful as well. You good?
This is a pretty good day.
That's awesome. So how long have you guys known each other?
We've known each other since grade 8, so we met through school.
Nice. And what was it about Humans of New York that inspired you to make Humans of Vancouver?
Honestly, at the beginning, it was quite terrifying. We knew what we wanted to do, and we had a plan, and we had all of the equipment. And then it came down to actually just going out and talking to people. And so we would go out and we would have our cameras and we would be downtown and we would just kind of be like, so,
like,
you gonna do it? Am I gonna do it?
At first we used to play rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd be like, you go do it. No, I did it last time. You go do it. No, I did it last time. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, okay, fine, rock, paper, scissors. And it was like, rock, paper, scissors. And it was really terrifying because people were like, why do you want to take my photo? And especially when we were first starting off and hadn't actually established the blog, we were just building our portfolio.
Yeah.
People were like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
This is really weird.
There was a lot of anxiety the first couple times we went out because, I mean, talking to strangers is usually pretty weird, but then going to talk to them with
and taking pictures,
and taking a photo of them, some people, we weren't sure how they would react, and so it was definitely kind of like a tester those first couple times we went out.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's good though that you were able to overcome it, and now like obviously it's very successful. What were the other challenges that you had other than just approaching them when you were first starting everything?
We had a lot of criticism on our photography skills and what we had in the interviews and what we were posting. So that was definitely at first it was a big hit to our confidence. You know, it's not every day you have all these people message you on Facebook saying like, you need to fix this, you need to fix this. And, you know, we learned to take it with a grain of salt and take it as a learning experience and on how to improve. But for sure, it's really intimidating when you have all these people you don't know saying, you need to fix this, you need to do this. And it was like, okay, we're just starting, let us
go easy on us.
Yeah, let us like learn the ropes.
Yeah.
But for sure, I think we've definitely overcome some of those challenges with time and experience.
Another thing was just, you know, you're so nervous that you just miss something. So I remember first couple times we forgot to press the record button. And so there's just no interview.
Oh no.
Sometimes you just get blurry photos because you were so into it that you forgot to focus the camera. And it's just small mistakes like that you learn to control over.
Yeah, you like learn from experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. What is it that stands out about a person that makes you want to feature them? Like, I want to really know how you select who you're going to feature.
I think for us, you know, the purpose of Humans of Vancouver is to find everyone. And of course, you can't photograph, everyone, but we really want to get a scope of who lives in Vancouver, and so we try not to be selective with who we're taking photos of. So it's more like, well, first of all, who's not busy? You know, if someone's in a rush or running or talking on the phone, we're not going to, you know, come up to in their face with a camera.
Hey.
Hello. So we try and pick people who are, you know, reading books or just kind of hanging around. The other thing, what was the other thing?
You're kind of really limited to where you are and who happens to be there. So
Vancouver's very small.
Yeah, true.
I mean, compared to New York City,
yes,
you have a population of upwards of 8 million. I mean, Vancouver's very small. So it kind of all just comes down to, you know, like, we're here. These are all the people here. This person doesn't look busy. It doesn't really matter if, like, any other context, really. It's just kind of whoever happens to be where we are.
Nice, yeah, just hunting them down.
Yeah.
Just hunting them down. So let's say that you have like a criteria or of who you're going to feature. What do you think are the top 5 things that you look for whenever you're hunting them down?
First of all, I would say who's not busy.
Somebody who seems to, I don't know, somebody who seems to have like a positive attitude when at first you approach them to be like, hi, this is what I'm doing. If they respond positively to that, I mean, that's always super helpful.
Other than that, I can't really think of anything. You know, again, we're trying to show people who makes up Vancouver, and that's everyone. And the great thing about Vancouver is that it's so diverse. So we try not to be too selective with who we're taking photos of, because that wouldn't properly showcase Vancouver.
Yeah, I found that so awesome about the real people of humans of Vancouver and the one of New York. I mean, it's really cool to see everyone's stories and everything. I mean, just I guess a couple of weeks ago, I saw that one story from Humans of New York about that girl whose name is also Beyonce.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That was crazy. That's so, oh my gosh, I loved it so much. And all the comments, that was really funny. So aside from that, you're talking about approaching people who would take it very positively. What are some of the best and worst or weirdest, positive, negative, just in general, reactions that you've had from people when you're trying to interview them?
Well, some people, as soon as you mention the fact that it's a website, just completely, nope.
They're like, oh.
Yeah, I think it's intimidating for some people, just like, because we know that the internet is so big, and for some people to know that their photo and perhaps like part of their story is being put on there, it's intimidating for them, and that's understandable. So definitely when people hear the word, website, kind of freak out a little bit.
The danger zone.
Yeah.
One of the weird things that have happened to us when we were on the street, it was during our first couple weeks of taking photos, someone was like, you need to fix your camera settings.
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
looked and they're like, you should change it to this, this, and this. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of a funny, I've used that camera setting ever since. So
nice.
Thank you to them.
That's awesome. Well, aside from your awesome camera skills, what other lessons, even life lessons, do you think you've learned from Humans of Vancouver?
Well, the biggest one that I take away from it is just like everybody has their own story. So you can't necessarily judge someone based on the fact that maybe the quote they gave you isn't necessarily all that interesting.
Yeah.
Because everybody does have their own story, and sometimes people are willing to share that with you, and that's amazing, and other times they're not, and that's equally okay.
Have you ever had any experiences with the homeless, and if so, like, what was it like when you were with them?
We've had a few. Primarily during our first couple weeks. We met someone, and he typically sits on the corner of, do you know where the Burger King is on Granville and Robson? It's right across from Urban Outfitters. And he was just sitting there. He wasn't asking for money, he was just sitting there. And so we approached him and we talked to him about his story and how he came to where he is today. And he told us about how his father died when he was 16.
Oh no.
Yeah, and how no one had properly taught him to manage his money, and he didn't cope well with the whole situation of his father dying, so he got into some bad habits. He spent all his money on drugs and smokes and things like that. And he told us, we asked him, what's one thing you regret most? And he said, I wish I'd put the money down on something like a house.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's the one story that stands out the most, because he was really open. That was our very first. That was I think our third interview ever.
Wow.
So it was just kind of
It's quite the climb.
shock, yeah. And we just kind of had to take a step back and just like, these are the people we want to share their stories,
What do you think are some of the most impactful experiences that you've had downtown? Like, was there ever an interview that really just changed your life or changed your outlook on the people of Vancouver?
I spoke with this one man, and he was drawing, and he was trying to copy one of the statues downtown. And so we started talking, and we ended up speaking for like 45 minutes or so. And it wasn't necessarily that it was life-changing, but he was just very approachable and just wanted to know more about the project and about what brought me to it. He invited me to his beach swimming club organization.
Yeah.
And we just kind of spoke about art because he was drawing and I'm also a fan of the arts and such. And so it just became a very casual conversation. And I think those are the ones that tend to stick with me the most. Not because they're necessarily life-changing, but it's just one of those very strange interactions where you don't know this person and yet you start talking and you leave and you feel like you've known them for a very long time.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where you can't describe how it feels, but it's just like you're peaceful, right?
Yeah,
totally. So aside from memorable experiences, were there any memorable things that anyone has said, like whether it be inspirational or absolutely out of this world crazy, that is just always stuck in your head?
I think it was our 5th or 6th interview, and we met these 2 men downtown, and they were just sitting on a bench, just talking, just people watching. We approached them asking, if we could interview them. This was the man who told me about my camera settings.
Okay.
And we were talking to them about like how they've known each other, how long, and they've said, since high school, we've known each other for more than 10 years. We're like, well, that's really cool. We find it hard that people keep in touch after high school. Like, how come you guys are still friends? How have you kept in touch? And they just looked at each other and were like, oh, he still owes me $5. And we took a step back and looked at each other and we were like, that is the kind of friendship that we have.
Yeah.
Where it's very strange, and if we were to keep in touch 10 years from now, it's because one of us owes each other $5. And they were just super funny and super fun, and it was a great interview. So for me, that was one of the very memorable ones, just because it really reminded me of us and our friendship.
That's awesome.
So.
I think one of my personal favorites is I asked a man, what makes you happy? Tell me one thing that makes you happy in life. And he just looks back at me and he goes, only one thing? And that was just for me, I broke out laughing because it was very, I don't know, it was a good moment.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, this was very witty and it was very not planned, but it just...
Also optimistic.
Yeah, incredibly optimistic. So that was a good one for me.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to get back to some more of their adventures on Humans of Vancouver, so stay tuned and keep watching. You're on Everiathing.
These young people who initiate projects to promote positivity, selflessness, and gratitude, we are honoring them tonight.
Through their work, Anisha and Julianna took something that was trendy and popular to propel their vision and passion and bring people together in a world of continuous competition. They were able to make people feel that they matter and that their stories are important. Their skills allow them to capture more than just a picture. They are able to empower the human spirit and connect people with one another. Congratulations.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everiathing. I am here with Anisha and Julianna, and they are the amazing geniuses behind this thing called Humans of Vancouver. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already. What do you think are your top 5 must-haves whenever you go for interviews and stuff?
A camera would be exceptionally helpful.
Recording device.
Yeah. At the moment, we just use our phones, and we have an app called Twisted Wave, and it's a very high-quality recording app, so we use that one.
Yeah. Business cards. People want to know that you're not just taking their photo.
That you're legit.
And getting them to open up to you. So I always bring business cards with me because people are like, are you sure? So I'll be like, yes, here's my card. You can contact me if you have any questions or anything like that. I would also say like a plastic bag or a camera case because it very often it will
surprise rain.
Start raining.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, it was sunny 5 minutes ago. What happened?
Vancouver.
I'm trying to think of the last one that we would bring.
Each other.
Oh, that's so precious.
It's a lot more nerve-wracking when you have to go film by yourself.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Especially like when you're a young girl.
Especially being like a teenager, you approach people and they're like, you're like in high school.
Because when you're in high school, like, people don't normally take you seriously. You have to have like a really good background, right? So it's good though.
Approach with confidence, and if not, then people just kind of tend to push you to the side. Just kind of keep going with their day.
Well, it's awesome that like you're able to become so successful with Humans of Vancouver. Do the people who are the fans of your blog and your pages and stuff, do they know that you guys are so young?
I think a few of them do. We've been interviewed by Vancity Buzz and CBC and Lotus Line magazine.
Yeah.
So I guess the people who've read those interviews know that we're still in high school and things like that. But
after the first one came out, like our very first interview, we actually got a lot of comments about the fact that we were so young. Because I guess up to that point, nobody really knew who was running the page. I think after that, people started cluing in a little bit. But at the moment, I don't think the majority know who even runs the blog.
So, do you think that Humans of Vancouver can help and make the world a better place? Because I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We hope so. I mean, the whole Humans of idea really seems to be working in New York City, and we've become more involved with actually a whole bunch of people who run Humans of blogs in various cities all over the world, which is really interesting to know that they exist kind of everywhere. And so I don't think necessarily the content or the actual like photographs are going to change the world, but I believe the idea behind it can. You know, this idea that, you know, social media doesn't necessarily have to divide people, and doesn't necessarily have to keep people, you know, hidden away. It can really be used to promote people's stories and to get to know the people we live with. And I feel like this idea of sharing stories, but also this whole idea of kind of like withholding judgment and just kind of accepting the people around you and acknowledging the fact that they too are their own individual and they too have their own life story behind them. I think that's an idea that can really be used.
Exactly. And I think it's good though that you're taking like random people and you're telling other people about who they are, because like you're saying, you don't know the person behind, you know, the glasses or behind the smile or anything, right? And it's crazy because like you're talking about social media, there's so many people that say like really malicious things about people that they hardly know, and then when you get to know this person on a personal level, like you're talking about knowing people that you live with, and it shows another thing with like society today, how everyone's always on their phones and stuff, and they go like, oh, look at this person, they look like they're this kind of whatever, and they don't get to actually know the person face to face. When you're talking to them, you have that emotion in their tone, you have you can see everything in their eyes, right? So that's really cool that you're going on there. That's awesome. Good job. So how do you hope people to remember you through your blog?
If we were to be remembered, I hope people remember us for being able to share the stories of Vancouver and, you know, really putting our best foot forward when we're doing what we're doing. And I hope people recognize that we really love doing this and that we really try and, you know, put forward the people of Vancouver.
Yeah, I hope people realize like the positivity behind it, and just the approach is one of, you know, we want to get to know you. And so I hope not necessarily that they remember us individually, but just the process of being interviewed as, you know, not terrifying and not scary, and just kind of one that's positive and hopefully something they can tell their friends about, like, oh, guess what cool thing I did today.
All right, so before we take a quick break, could you maybe tell us out there where we can find out more about Humans of Vancouver, and also where we can find out about each of you?
You can check out our blog. So that's facebook.com /humans of 604.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be back after the break. You don't want to miss what else we're going to do here on Everiathing. Okay, Hi guys, welcome back to everiathing. So, girlies, we have this thing called quickfire. I'm gonna ask you about 20 questions, and we're gonna be switching between. First, we'll go with Anisha, and then Julianna, and then just keep alternating. And you guys have to say the first thing that popped into your head, no matter how crazy or out of topic it is. And you have 1 minute to answer all of these questions together.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with Anisha. All right, timer. Skytrain or bus?
Skytrain.
Mondays are great because.
It's the first day of the week.
Scented candles remind you of.
Forests.
Favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Favorite season?
Summer.
You like to wear neon socks when?
All the time.
Las Vegas or Disney?
Disney.
Thunder and lightning calms you because?
Because it sounds like waves.
Daylight scares you when?
When it's too bright outside.
Horror films remind you of true love because?
Because everybody dies in the end.
Favorite season?
Summer.
You hate Fridays because?
It's
Because-
last.
Come on, man. Because it means the weekend's almost over.
You want to bottle the smell of old books because?
So no one else can smell them.
You love sports cards because?
Because they look pretty.
News or sports?
News.
Favorite landmark in Vancouver?
It was the gum head, but now it's gone.
Planes or boats?
Planes.
Fairies or elves?
Elves.
Wishing wells are great for?
Wishing.
Pen and paper is better than a computer because?
Because you can scribble out things that are wrong.
Yay!
It's terrifying.
Under pressure, right? It's crazy. All right, so now it's time for our quick fire round 2. This time 40 seconds. We're gonna start with Julianna, all right? Okay.
Terrifying.
You love sailing because?
I like water.
You will always.
Brush my teeth.
Parents can be.
Really great.
You like chocolate because?
Tastes good.
Never in your life you will.
Jump out of a plane.
If you had a red sports car, you would.
Drive it.
French fries and strawberries can.
Tastes really bad.
You stammer when?
When I'm put on, like when there's a timer.
You can get really scared if.
The lights go out.
If you could climb a mountain, you would.
Not.
There's always a time when you.
Really want fries.
One day you really need to.
Figure out how to answer these questions fast.
Your biggest dream is.
To keep doing Humans of Vancouver.
What you like about the rain is.
It's wet.
Don't ever remind you of.
That time where I tripped and fell down the stairs.
The sound of wolves can.
Haunt you.
When you grow older, you will.
Hopefully still look fabulous.
And there should always be a.
French fry in sight.
Just so you know, there's some pickles on sale.
Keep running, we gotta buy more pickles.
Love me some pickles.
Me need pickle.
And, never eat pickles with, like, weird stuff growing on them.
Open the jar really slowly.
Pickles are so good. Don't you want me to open the jar fast so you can eat it?
Quickly, stuff them all in your mouth.
H-A-K, P-Q-R. Rambunctious pickles often jump out of the jar if you open it quickly.
Scream! The pickle was running out of the jar. Scream!
Try not to eat them all at the same time.
Oh, you're ending it.
I want to say you do something, but that's understand that pickles are people too.
Oh my gosh! You guys need to make a side blog and you need to invite me to it called Pickles of Vancouver.
Okay. Just go into all the different grocery stores and take pickles.
Yeah, take pictures. How do you feel? I don't know. I'm in a jar. The vinegar's getting to my eyes. I feel so, nobody understands me. I wish I could just let it out. Okay, well, oh my gosh, that was awesome. Great round of applause again. That was something else. Well, it's awesome having you guys here today despite your busy Vancouver adventures. Before you guys go, we have our wall of fame, wall of stars, whatever you'd like to call it, over at the studio. So if you could please each sign one. Oh my God, I'm getting their autograph. Ah! Whatever makes you happy. You can draw a pickle for me.
Okay, I will go.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that looks so cool.
Thank you.
Everyone always has such nice autographs. Mine looks like a dead fly. So, oh, yay! Oh, once again, everybody, Anisha and Julianna. When I looked at you, you were like French fries. Like you're like dome the headlights.
Everything came back to French fries.
Yeah.
We really like French fries.
Oh man, French fries and strawberries.
Maybe not.
Maybe French fries in the milkshake with strawberries. That might be better. Backwards? I can't even do the alphabet backwards.
I don't know the alphabet forwards.
Do you want to see me suffer?
Okay. I think we've embarrassed ourselves enough.